Hello, we need to talk. Take a seat right there for me. It's not you, it's me. Now, this isn't a bad news video, so you can relax. I just wanted to share where I've been, what I've been thinking about, answer some questions which I think need answering, and talk about where this channel is going. I've done a lot of self-reflection recently. I started this channel almost 3 years ago now, pretty much immediately after Elden Ring released. In fairness, I properly started making gaming content on TikTok. Funnily enough, one of my first bursts into virality was using an audio of Germa talking about bimbo magic users.
You're a bimbo. I'm playing the bimbo build? Is that what you're telling me?
So thanks for that one, Germa. I was mostly just messing around until one day I felt compelled to record myself talking about some interesting things I found about the game's story, and that was quite unusual for me. Before TikTok and other stuff, I was originally a cosplayer, occasionally posting on Instagram and Reddit. Yeah, put that one in the documentary. So I was inexperienced and incredibly uncomfortable speaking on camera, but my interest in the game circumvented that for some reason. And it garnered a lot of support, mostly because of the game's popularity at the time, but it spurred me on to make a YouTube channel so I could talk for longer due to TikTok's duration restriction at the time. Those first videos that I did, in all honesty, are pretty bad. I remember recording with this camera and this separate microphone and then having to put them together and edit them on my phone, and the audio didn't always sync up and the editing was very scuffed. But establishing my style as someone who talks about game story, lore, was really fun. I mean, I was incredibly awkward on camera. Not much has really changed now, I'm just standing up. But I'm naturally quite a soft-spoken person. I tend to mumble quite a lot. So many of my comments back then were things like, "Why are you whispering? Why are you talking like that?" One of my favorites was something along the lines of, "This girl is talking like there's someone sleeping in the next room." And I still get comments like those now, but I concur, I talked a lot more quietly back then. And now, having done this for a couple of years, I like to think that I've improved my confidence and speaking ability. So hey, I would recommend it to anyone who wants to feel more comfortable with speaking. You know, just record yourself talking about whatever you find interesting. You don't necessarily have to upload it, but I can confirm it does gradually help you feel more at ease. This brings me to my next topic of discussion. Is that your real voice? I still get the occasional comment from people asking this, and yes, this is how I talk, behold. Now, I do admit, when I first started making videos, it wasn't 100% natural, and that's mostly to do with my general speaking anxiety. I would feel my throat close up and my pitch shifted. I couldn't project as much, so it was very me. I really didn't like how my voice sounded to me. I would often compare myself to how other female voices sound and feel like my voice wasn't high enough, delicate enough, or necessarily feminine enough. Have you ever wondered why the pumpkin heads go bonk bonk? So that probably also subconsciously affected how I wanted to present myself, which is ridiculous, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who has had thoughts like these. So I can say I feel much more happier with myself and who I am now from a self-acceptance level. Honestly, you know, who cares? It's an objective fact that I have a relatively deeper / medium pitch to my voice, and that's okay. The point is, if I even remember the reason I brought this up in the first place, is that YouTube and the audience that I'm so lucky to have definitely helped me find my place in the world and establish the confidence to do what I do. I love to write, tell and analyze stories, and I'm very grateful for any of you who have stuck by me since the beginning and watched my style develop. That being said, I have mainly talked about the game Elden Ring. There have been very few times where I talked about other games like The Witcher, Diablo, Baldur's Gate, things like that, but the majority of my audience I have garnered from Elden Ring, the massive game that it is. And I'd like to get real for a second, so brace yourself. I was so unbelievably excited about the DLC for Elden Ring. Every little bit of lore teased and art we got leading up to its launch was great. The hype was crazy. While I have enjoyed what I've played, I may have slightly burned myself out from the pressure of creating content on a DLC that I didn't necessarily go into with the right mindset to enjoy, if that makes any sense. This is of course no criticism to anyone in particular, it's entirely my own fault and an important lesson I've learned. Making YouTube videos, the balance of playing something that you enjoy versus what you think other people will enjoy. And that's why I really haven't made that many videos on Shadow of the Erdtree yet. Now the ones that I have made, don't get me wrong, I was very passionate about those. I got to work with incredible artists, I got to make my own armor, I got to go down some really, really interesting rabbit holes. I just wanted to temper some expectations as to why the pace I've made with the DLC content isn't the same as some other creators, or even what I would have accomplished in my prime, Chalice Prime. Anyway, the long and short of it is that I still want to make some DLC videos. They'll just be when I'm ready to, and I feel like I have something interesting to contribute, not just for the sake of it. I really don't want to feel exhausted by a game that gave me my livelihood. That's just not the right attitude to have. So I just need some time to reestablish my feelings towards that game. This sounds insane, I'm talking about a video game, but it means a lot to a lot of people, and myself included. That also goes for other Souls games as well. I still would like to cover them, but I also want to branch out more and try some other games. There's a ton that I haven't played and I've always wanted to, which brings me to my next segment, gameplay. I usually go away, play these games, do the areas and the character exploration, write a script, then film it, edit it, and then upload it. And with that can come quite long periods of nothing. And I'd like to start including you guys in my process more and just generally be more active. So I may consider posting gameplay of me playing stuff for the first time on my second channel, which I've yet to utilize, and or maybe live streaming it. I did used to stream on Twitch quite a few years ago actually. This was also when I was still figuring out myself, so it didn't come across as naturally and as authentic as I'd have liked it to be. Although I was still a gamer, so don't get that twisted.
Careful now, that's a trap.
Oh my god. Anyway, I'll probably experiment with some of that in the new year, and also I'd like to hire an editor as well. I think that would be something nice and new. I do and have done everything on this channel myself, and while I've enjoyed learning all the different aspects, learning how to edit, that's the component I definitely am weakest at, and it's also the most time consuming as well. So I think it would be healthy to delegate a little bit, so it will give me more time to work on other areas like crafting cosplays, writing my scripts, and playing games. And finally, I want to provide some transparency about a particular kind of content that I used to make. I'm not going to say the name of the website directly, but let's just say it involved some letters arranged in a certain way. And to be completely honest, it wasn't gratuitous, full on, or even, with other people. It was just me. One could classify it as soft core, me core, Chalice core. And if you followed me for a while, you know that I'm not exactly known for conservative dressing. I like to have fun, dress up and play video games, just girly things. So I never felt ashamed of taking pictures of myself in that context, and honestly I still don't. Have you seen me on Twitter? We all have bodies, it's crazy. Sir, did you know you are naked under those clothes? Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that if you search my name, you won't find some Chalice cheeks. It's out there. I fully understand the consequences of digital footprint and all that, but I'm mentioning this because I don't want people to try and use it as ammunition against me as a content creator. I mean, I know they will, and I know they have done, but I honestly don't think it's anything to be ashamed of, and I understand if hearing any of this has made you, think of me differently, lose respect, or not want to watch me anymore, and that is completely fine. I understand that people will have different, opinions on this kind of stuff, but I'm sharing this because I want to be upfront, and it's not something I've hidden, but it's also not something that I've felt the need to bring up here on this website. I've always treated those two sides of my work as separate spaces, but they do have me as the common denominator. I do want to say for reference, I did stop making content for that site about half a year ago now. Not necessarily for any dramatic reason, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. So right now I'm on an indefinite hiatus from making that kind of stuff. I'd like to focus on what I'm more passionate about, which is all of this wrapped up in a lore package. So yes, this is what I look like. I don't think my appearance takes away from what I have to say. If anything, I'm all for being visually, audibly, and mentally stimulating. I don't think there's anything wrong with aspiring to be like that. And while we're on the topic, people often ask how they can support me further, as I know some of you used to use that website as a financial backing. The best way now is through YouTube memberships or Patreon. Updates there are focused entirely on my channel and projects, but that's all optional. Your views and your feedback are the most valuable thing to me, and I appreciate them more than I can say. So thank you for watching me and my stupid lore. I hope you have a happy holidays. And I can't wait to start the new year with some new stuff. Chalice 2.0, you could call it. Chalice second phase. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye now.